I've spent years studying why some paid communities go viral and why some hardly get off of the ground. And in this episode, I'm going to break down exactly what those things are. Welcome to the $1,000,000 Memberships Podcast, where we help entrepreneurs like yourself start, grow, and scale multiple 6- and 7-figure online memberships with simple, step-by-step strategies that actually work.
Your life is about to get so good.
Let's dive in. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of $1,000,000 Memberships Podcast. Okay, today is more of a fun one. This is kind of like a collection of my brain over the years and just working with, at this point, I've worked with hundreds of membership founders. I am currently working with some really, really incredible memberships and membership founders. And I'm talking like big memberships as well. I'm talking people who have over 1,500 members, people who are bringing in well over $100,000 months. And I bet you have even probably heard of some of these memberships that I am a part of and kind of the strategist behind. You might even be a part of them, but over the years, I've gotten pretty quick at understanding why some memberships seem to grow like wildfire while others just hardly spark. And for context, I've helped membership founders go from $500 months to $50,000 months in under a year. I've helped people go from literally negative $0 to $30,000 cash months in 6 months, $12,000 to $24,000 MRR in 2 months. Good jumps, good results, like quick results, most people would say. You kind of get the idea. But on the other hand, and this is something that I feel like a lot of business coaches don't want to say, it's not like your typical social proof by any means. I've also worked with membership founders who stayed at 0 members and never ended up getting their membership to work. Now, here's what's really interesting about these two things, right? The membership founders who had these incredible results versus the ones who just didn't get anywhere. The difference between the methods and the strategies the different clients were given was absolutely none. They were the same strategies. The clients who had 0 traction were given the exact same strategies as the clients who skyrocketed. And I have studied these cases for years. I have pulled everything apart. Like my brain does not rest. If I give someone a strategy and it works for someone and it doesn't work for that person, it works for someone else and it doesn't work for that person, I'm racking my brain to look at every possible reason it didn't work for that person. Now, imagine me doing that with every single client and member that I've had for years. Like when I say my brain doesn't stop, my brain doesn't stop. I'm always pulling apart all of the possibilities. I'm trying to figure out formulas and methods of what is going to make this work for every single person. I have pulled everything that can be pulled apart, I have pulled it apart. I have done countless audits. I have done sessions. I have done market research calls. I have talked to people in the DMs. I have even gotten on just personal Zoom calls to talk to people, trying to understand the exact reasons why people skyrocket or the exact reasons why people go the opposite way. And after 7.5 years in this space, I have nailed it. I better have fucking nailed it. Oh my God. But I have nailed it. So I'm going to give you the list. I'm going to break down why your membership community might not be seeing success. So everything on this list is going to be telling you if this is happening, this is why your community will not be successful. So you want to do the opposite of it, okay? So don't worry, I'll break down every single part of it and I'll be as detailed as I possibly can. Okay, so let's get into it. Number 1 is members are not using it as a daily habit or routine. And what I'm about to explain is something that I like to call the social media effect. And you want the social media effect with your membership. So let me explain this. Think of your favorite social media platform. So is that Instagram? Is it TikTok? Is it Substack? When you have some free time in your day, what are you likely to do? When you are waiting in the doctor's office and you just got your phone, that's it. What are you likely to do? When you're waiting in line at the grocery store, at a train, on a train, waiting in your gate for a plane. What do you do? Likely, you pull up your favorite social media app. And I really hope you relate to this, or else I just highlighted a major problem I might have. But this is the social media effect, okay? This is how you want your members using your membership. So instead of pulling out their favorite social media app, they're pulling up your membership app. Okay. That's what you want. You want that social media effect for your membership. So, how do you do this? Because this is not a fluke. This is actually a really intentional design that you need to have inside of your membership as the membership founder. So, you need to create the habit, right? You need to create the habit. You need to create whatever the positive reinforcement is for members to be checking the app. You need to create that. So you need to really ask yourself, why should members check into my membership daily? What does that actually do for them? What kind of conversations would members be pulled into inside? How can you create the spark in the beginning to start those conversations? Right? Because those aren't just going to start themselves. You have to be intentional of what kind of conversations really should be inside this membership to really kind of, get people almost on their training wheels to then start these conversations on their own. They have to kind of see it in action first. What daily or weekly rituals would drastically improve your members' life and keep members needing to come back regularly? Okay, so this requires some brainstorming and just really talking to your ideal member to truly understand, but it's really essential. It's really an essential step in running a membership that you have this. Okay, so the other thing is this has to be something that is positively going or give that some, this has to be something that is going to give them some kind of positive result in some sort of way. Okay. It can't just be something that is like extra work for them to check in. Like it has to be something. Why would they want to be in that app? Okay. Number two is members aren't connecting with other members. This is another concept that at surface level, it seems very, very obvious and simple. But like most things with memberships, this requires intention and effort. So the problem that most memberships face is really transferring skills from social media to a membership, right? Like think about it. You probably are promoting your membership on social media, right? That's usually where you grow a following and the interest for your membership in the first place. So, what ends up happening is we start to treat our membership like social media in a way. And I'll explain that in a second. But kind of how we have to look at it is social media. This is where you're building an audience, right? So, social media, you have built an audience. With an audience, you're getting people to follow you and engage with you, right? When you make a post, they're engaging with you. When you ask a question on your stories, they're engaging with you. But a membership is where you have to build community. And instead of getting people to engage with you, follow you, engage with you need to get people engaging with others. But the problem is because we usually come from social media and then create a community, we're so used to that social media relationship. So too often founders will do the exact same thing that you do on social media. So getting people to engage with you and then you're not even realizing it. Right. So, like an example is you might go into your membership and then you might make a post and it says, "Hey, everyone, happy Monday. What are you doing to have your most successful week this week?" Drop it below. Okay. That's a very like, it's just nothing wrong with that post, but kind of, because we're going to get into it. But the intention was there, right? Like it's just a very standard run of the mill post. The intention was there. You want people to engage and you want people to post in the community. So that's why you posted that. You want people to answer you. But here is what actually is happening when you make posts like this. Number one is members respond to you only. There's nothing in there telling them to talk to other people. They're just answering your question. There's literally no reason to keep the conversation going inside of the community. Members start to see these posts as a chore and it's just non beneficial to them, right? They answer the question, it's extra work on their plate. What is the benefit to them there? There's no benefit to them there. And then because this is the type of posts that are inside of the community over and over, members just stop showing up because there's no point of them answering this. It's benefiting you and your membership because you're getting people to engage, but it's not actually benefiting them. And they start to feel that. So they're going to stop showing up. And so this can actually, a post so simple like this can actually do the very opposite of what you want it to do. And it can actually destroy community inside of your membership. So instead, I want you to do this. Think of posts that will get members to engage and talk to each other. Okay. Not just answer a question of yours, but actually talk to each other. So an example is saying something like, "It's Monday, time to give one and get one." And then you could say something like, number one, drop one habit that you've kept up lately that's helping you stay productive. And then number two, drop one thing that you are struggling with and could use support with. Go through the comments and find someone that you can offer support to. Okay, so this is helping people check in. It's helping people realize like a win that they've had. It's also helping people realize or really think what is something that they're struggling with. But then it's getting, you're not the one responding to it. They are actually getting excited because they know that people are going to be going through and helping them with their struggle, right? They're going to get support with that struggle. And then also they can offer service too. And that helps them feel connected to the community. That helps them even step more into leadership, helps them really feel motivated for themselves. If they can see someone struggling with something and they actually know the answer to it, or they've been able to overcome that struggle themselves, that helps them feel this sense of purpose and like oh, okay, I am doing better than I thought it was kind of thing. Okay, so that is a very, very easy and simple switch to start getting people to connect with each other and not just you. Number three, and this one might be a little harsh, but it's all with love, I swear. And it is that the owner, so that is you, is slow to implement. And how simple does this one sound, right? It's like, yeah, just implement. But yet I see it all the time. And a very, very common thread among some of the most successful entrepreneurs that I have had the pleasure of working with is implementation time. This is something that I know right off the bat if someone's going to be successful or not based on how they react after instruction or after they are given strategy or given X, Y, and Z. Successful membership founders, they get the plan and they implement it immediately, whether that is implementing it themselves immediately or sending it off to a team member to get done immediately. It does not wait, it gets done, or it gets wherever it needs to go to have that process be done. Okay, again, remember, this does not mean that the membership founder themselves are doing it. A lot of people will send this to a team member, to a VA, to somebody, but the point is whether it's them doing it or someone else doing it, it gets done. They don't wait until things are perfect. Okay? And they also know that reps over perfection is key. Now, unsuccessful membership founders, they get the plan and then they sit with the plan and they mull over the plan. And then they let other things go in front of the plan. They overthink and try to make everything perfect before putting it out. They think if it's not perfect, people won't sign up. Now, this is not to say that you should put out shit work, right? Like it's quite the opposite. This is to say that you have to work fast and at a high level. So make your work good, but also make it quick. Know that the more reps that you put in, the better your work will be. Okay? And if you're using time as an excuse, so maybe you're like, I can't go as fast because I only have 3 hours a day to work, then delegate. Okay. I have a client who just went from $50,000 months to $100,000 months in 2 months. She doubled her monthly recurring revenue, but she also would get entire funnels set up 3 days after our sessions, like in 14-day big email funnels. 3 days after our sessions, it was done. There's some membership founders I've given the exact same template to, the exact same strategy, the wow, words, same instruction, and it's still sitting there a month later and they're wondering why their membership isn't growing. Okay. She also brought in a team member to help her build and execute. while she did the ideating work. So, a lot of highly successful entrepreneurs, membership founders, this can be applied to many different businesses, but a lot of people will really see where are their strengths and not try and be everything for everyone. A really good book for this is actually just like a side note, but Rocket Fuel, I'll put it in the show notes, but I'll have to look up who the author is. Actually, I'll just do that right now really quick. The author is Gino Wickman and Mark C. Winters. I have referenced this book multiple times before, so if you are not new here, you've probably heard me talk about it, but this is an incredible book to really understand delegation and really understand like where you're best suited inside of your business and where you should be delegating and hiring out for. Okay, so some of the most successful membership founders that I have worked with, they really understand this. They understand where their time is best spent and where it's not. Okay, and this client also, she was a busy mom. Like she did not use that as an excuse. She brought in help so that her work didn't all fall on her and that she could be there for her kids in the way that she wanted to at the capacity that she wanted. So the bottom line though is that the implementation speed really does matter. And if you can't be the one to do it, you need to bring in somebody who can help you do it. Or if are not in that place financially, then you need to really look at, okay, what am I doing? Because I guarantee you, if you actually audit your time, you can find things and you will find things that you are currently doing that you don't need to be doing that can wait, that are things that are not actually moving the needle. They're just more busy work. Maybe that's updating your website. Maybe that is spending a little more time scrolling TikTok than you need to be. You know what I mean? So do what you can do, but make sure that you audit your time and that you look at your implementation time and really get honest with yourself of if you are doing the best possible job at that you can. Okay. And also just remember that memberships are not 100% passive, especially in those first couple of years. So going into this, knowing that you will need to work, you will need to show up, and you might even need to bring in support is very, very crucial. Okay, moving on. Number 4 is members don't feel connected or involved to the community itself. So, as your membership grows and moves from infant to toddler stage, which I don't know if I've ever used that reference for membership before, but here we are, I guess. You want to make sure that there's room for your members to grow. Better yet, you want to make sure that you have roles for your members to fill. And this may just be one of my favorite things to do inside of a membership. This is what I call building a world. And inside of Million Dollar Memberships Club, it is an entire section inside of our course vault for a reason, because this is the strategy to scale that I have personally never even heard another membership expert, coach, whoever, someone who teaches on memberships. I have never heard of anyone else talk about this strategy, which honestly kind of blows my mind because it is, in my opinion, one of the strategies to scale a membership. But I guess that's also why I am here telling you about it because we don't gatekeep over here. But this is literally going to be the difference between you just having a membership community and you growing a freaking legacy membership. Okay. So, the rule that I want you to remember as you grow your membership is that this is your members' membership, not your membership. Okay. This is your members' membership, not yours. So, this is where I like to bring in volunteer roles. You have to remember that members stay when they feel a sense of belonging and connection. Yes, they can get that from an engaged community, but you want to go deeper with this, right? What really gets someone feeling like they truly, truly belong somewhere is being in service. And this is across the board. Like, this is just human psychology, right? Look at, I don't belong to a church, but look at churches. People who are in service there, people who are actively participating there, being in service to others, they feel part of that community. Okay. This is the exact same with your membership. This can be looked at like even volunteer opportunities at, I don't know, in your neighborhood. Maybe you have like a neighborhood cleanup group. Being in service, it truly makes you feel like you belong there. This can be applied to any sort of organization. Being in service to that organization gives you that added level of I belong here. This is mine. I truly feel connected here. Okay. So it's the exact same thing for your membership. And this is why I'm like, I don't understand why no one else is talking about this. This is crazy. But when members can volunteer for roles inside of your community, here is what actually happens. And this is really, really cool. So make sure you listen to this. They naturally feel a sense of responsibility. They show up as leaders, really helping other members, which honestly, in turn, that boosts your community engagement. It boosts the conversation in your community and it boosts your attention because people are really feeling supported in there from the other people who are also in service where they're going to want to stay. And then the people who are in service are going to want to stay. And it's like this big snowball effect. So it's huge. They also bring in fresh energy into the community. So it's not just like you or your community manager really doing all the heavy lifting. There's other people, other members inside of the community doing it as well. They give permission to others to show up and participate in the community. So just just by members seeing people who are being in service inside of your community, showing up, asking questions, supporting other people, that naturally gives people this like unsaid permission slip to do the same thing. So even if they're not actually filling a specific role in the membership, they're showing up in a way that they've seen other people show up. And so it just creates this different energy inside of your community. And they often recruit more members for your membership, especially when this is all set up properly. Now, I will say if you're going to be doing volunteer member roles, which I 1000% encourage you to do, it is the best thing that you will do for your membership as it grows. It has to be done properly. There are things that you want to set up in there, like commissions and affiliate opportunities. And you want to make sure that you know how to onboard your volunteer roles and you have proper and professional paperwork and a proper application process and you have legal set up and you have a tracking system set up in your backend. Like you do need to do a little bit to do this. You can't just be like, oh, we have a role here. Come take it. There is a little bit of like a paperwork process, a administration process, but if you join $1 Million Memberships Club, we've got everything laid out for you. Everything is inside, all the plug and play templates, the like the checklist, the steps that you're going to have to do to put something like this inside of your membership. Again, it's an entire section inside of $1 Million Memberships Club because it's such an important piece of a membership. So if you want everything, you want the entire strategy, you want all of the resources for this, come join us inside $1 Million Memberships Club. And this is just a crumb off of the cake that is $1 Million Memberships Club. We have everything in there for you. And if you're listening to this in real time, which is August 24th, we are actually closing our doors August 30th. So you have about a week left to get into $1 Million Memberships Club before we close. And if you go and pause this episode, look at these show notes, you can actually see information on our challenge that is coming up in September as well. It is only for $1 Million Memberships Club members. It's called the Get Your Next 100 Members 8-week challenge. And it is going to be an incredible, incredible way to kick off September, to kick off fall inside of your membership. So again, really encourage you to pause this for a second. Go check out $1 Million Memberships Club. Go join before you forget because we are actually closing the doors on August 30th. You won't be able to get in afterwards. And come join our community. It is live support every single day. We have live calls every single Monday to really kick off your week. Make sure that you are moving the needle. They are 30-minute calls every Monday morning and Monday evening if you can't make our morning calls to really make sure that you are setting up your week correctly. You have all of your to-dos in place. You have your plan every single week so that you're actually seeing results inside of this membership. This is not just like a passive course membership. You have me in there. You have our community members in there to ask questions. You have all of our courses and our templates and our plug and play resources and everything that you need to take a membership from a baby membership, literally just starting, to over $100,000 a month membership. Everything is inside of there. And our members are all at different places. So wherever you are in your membership journey, you'll have connections in there with other people who are in the same spot as well. So again, pause this, go join us. We have a really good deal going on with our annual membership right now as well. And then come back and let's get back into it. Okay, number 5 is systems are, for a lack of a better word, garbage. And this is likely not surprising to you, but it is worth a mention on this list on its own. The rule that we live by in my world, in the $1 million memberships world, is that you cannot build a legacy membership on shaky foundation. If you don't have systems to support your community, members can tell. It is very obvious. And when members can tell, it damages their trust, even if they don't know it. Like, even if they're not actually thinking, oh, this is damaging my trust, they can tell. And subconsciously, they are starting to feel that. So just think about it. Like, if links were constantly broken in a membership that you were a part of, or support never got back to your questions, or you couldn't navigate the membership and felt really confused every time you opened the app, would you feel 100% confident that you can trust this organization to get you X result, whatever the result is, that this was a professional membership? Or would you start to feel like maybe they just weren't as professional as they marketed themselves to be? Maybe they can't get me this result, right? Maybe that's what you're thinking is they can't get me this result, or oh my God, this is a little bit, ooh, this kind of seems a little bit shaky. This kind of, they're promising me this result, but like this is how the membership is looking. Like, do they actually have the resources to get me this result? You know what I mean? You start to question things and you start to be weary of things. And when members are feeling that way, they are more inclined to leave the minute they feel something else is off, right? It's kind of that thing of like, if you experience bad in someone, you're always looking for more of the bad, right? You're not, most people don't experience something that's really off or bad and then just like continuously look for or like not notice the bad when it happens again, like just only see the good, right? And it's kind of the opposite. When members have a good experience, they still look for the good. Even if a little mistake happens, like say a broken link, they don't really think too much about it. But if they were experiencing all these other problems and then there's a broken link, they're just like, oh, another thing. Like they're constantly, it just adds up. Okay. So when members have a bad experience, they continue to look for the bad and a reason to leave. So good systems really do matter. And I'm talking professional and automated onboarding, which, by the way, should be lasting months, not just days. Okay. That's another thing that we teach you and give you a full template on inside of $1 Million Memberships Club that you can just plug into your membership and it's done for you. Okay. That's a really, really important one. Onboarding is huge. So definitely, if you are even the slightest bit worried about your onboarding, come into $1 Million Memberships Club so we can make sure that it is professional and elite. Technical support is an important one. Member experience and support systems, automated emails set up, like all of these things are really important. The list goes on, but wherever you don't personally need to be, there needs to be a system for it. And you'd be surprised at how much there is inside of your membership that you can actually create a system for and that you don't physically need to be there for. Okay. Again, if you want all of the checklists for all of these systems, all of the automations that you need done for you with plug and play templates and resources for every single thing, come join us inside $1 Million Memberships Club. We are closing August 30th, 2026. If you are listening to this before then, make sure you get your booty in there so you don't miss out. If you're listening to this after then, come join the waitlist or make sure you put your name on the waitlist so that you don't miss our next opening because we do obviously open the membership and then close the membership. Okay. Number 6 is that you don't have a system for consistent sales. Okay, so in other words, you are just winging sales. Maybe you are somebody who you have a social media audience and you have been getting people through your social media through stories or posting reels or whatever it is. When you basically to get members in the door, you are relying on sending emails and you are relying on posting on Instagram stories. Okay. I will let you in on this little secret. 90% of your membership sales will come or should come when you have this properly set up from behind the scenes things that you are doing. Okay. So it's not on social media, it's not through your email list. 90% of your membership sales really should be coming behind the scenes through a system. And the reason for that is because, well, number one, if you're constantly just selling on social media, people are going to tune that out because there's so much noise on social media now. This is not 2020 anymore. Things are so different. You could actually kind of get away with that in 2020, not anymore. So that is number one. But number two is it's just unpredictable. Predictably, you can't predictably know how many people are going to see your stories, see your posts, and come join your membership. Whereas with behind the scenes sales systems, you can actually predictably know, okay, if I'm getting this many people onto this backend system that I'm doing, I know that I'll sign at least this many members. Okay, there's actually some predictability there. There's a little bit of confidence there that you can have inside of your membership. So then when you have a system down like that, and you know, okay, when I run this, I get 20 members at least every time, then you can structure that and schedule that into your year and say, okay, if I run this twice a month, I'll get 40 members at least every single month. If I run this X times a year, I'll get this many members at least. Okay. So it's really important that you have some sort of back end system to sign new members. Okay. Do you remember the results that I kind of gave you earlier in this episode? Having a client who went from $12,000 a month to $24,000 in monthly recurring revenue in 2 months, having the client who went from 50,000 to $100,000 months, right? Those results that I gave you earlier in this episode, those came from, well, they came from a mix of everything that we've covered so far in here. They had all these things, but the fast growth that those came from sales systems. Okay, so it's really, really important that you have sales systems and you are not just relying on social media and email to sign members. Again, come into Million Dollar Memberships Club if you do not have something like this. I am telling you, it's almost like at a point where if you don't have these systems, and you're looking at Million Dollar Memberships Club and you're like, oh, I just don't know if it's the time. Trust me, you cannot afford to not be in here if you don't have these systems in place. It will change your life. It will change your membership if you can get these things set up inside of your business. So trust me on this. I know this sounds like really dramatic, but it is so, so true. Going to read you a message that I just got from one of my clients who agreed to do a testimonial for me or just write a little blurb about her experience. Not even a testimonial, but I just asked her to, hey, you've been working with me for this amount of time, 3 months, I think, maybe 3 months, 4 months. Can you just write your experience working, anything that you've been able to do, etc.? And this is what she said. And this really goes hand in hand with the consistent sales system, is why I'm reading this to you. So she said, I started working with Paige and implementing the strategies she teaches inside of Million Dollar Memberships Club 4 months ago. Okay, 4 months ago. At the time, I had around 150 members in my membership and was making just under $13,000 a month. In month one, we cleaned up my membership and got clear on the gaps and the leaks. Okay, so those are the systems. Once those were fixed, we began to slowly start implementing her three-tiered sales approach: ongoing lead magnet, small incubator events, and a large sales event. Okay, so this is the sales, the consistent sales that I'm talking about right now. She goes on to say the lead magnet strategy has brought in nearly 50 plus new members over 2.5 months and have posted about the lead magnet maybe 15 to 20 times on Instagram. I've also done one mini incubator event so far, and it was incredible. My goal was to get 35 members, and we brought in 101 new members and over $10,000 in monthly recurring revenue in 90 minutes. I was literally crying happy tears after because I was truly in shock. And this was a true story. It was so cute. I knew Paige was good. I didn't know her strategies were this good. 4 months into implementing her strategies, I am closing in on $25,000 months. Started at $13,000 months. We have our first main event at the end of next month, and my goal is to bring in 150 members minimum with a push goal of 300 members. This would bring my monthly recurring revenue to $40,000 to $55,000 a month. I am only 28 years old. I started my membership less than a year ago. With Paige's help, I plan to hit $100,000 months by next summer, 9 months from now. I am 100% confident we will make this happen. Okay, so I read this to you because everything that we have covered in this list so far are all things that we have done with her. But the thing that really pushed her growth quickly and got her numbers up really quickly was the sales events. And these don't happen through social media, these don't happen through emails, these are behind the scenes. Okay, so again, if you do not have these in, trust me, you need these systems in your membership, and we have them sitting for you inside of Million Dollar Memberships Club. We are open until August 30th. Come join us. If you are listening to this after, get on the wait list. We'll be so happy that you did it. Okay, and last one, what are we on? 7? Last one is that you are just not being seen online. Okay. In other words, you do not have visibility as a priority for your membership. And you guys, this is actually the one that I personally struggled with for years because I told myself, I'm not in this to be a content creator. I'm not in this to be an influencer. I don't like being on social media. Like that was the thing I told myself all the time. I don't like being on social media. I don't like creating content. I don't like X, Y, and Z, fill in the blanks, which, like, at the end of the day, kind of true. Like, it's not my favorite thing to get on and have to create content all of the time. Like, now I've found a content aesthetic and like content schedule that I actually do like to make. And so that I that was like a whole other topic. I could honestly probably make another podcast episode on creating content that you actually like, and that will change things. But at the end of the day, it's like, well, no, I am just a teacher through and through. Like, as a little kid, my game, like the games that I would play after school is I would go into my room, set up all my stuffies, pull out a whiteboard and pretend that I was teaching them. And then I'd go down when my parents finally got a computer. I would go down and I would write little short stories. And like, our school shut down for a 2 day strike one time. And I took it so seriously. I like begged my parents to get on the internet and figure out how I can homeschool myself, and like downloaded all these curriculums for myself. Like, that is in me 100% to be a teacher. So I guess with content, you can kind of teach it, whatever. It is in me to be a teacher. And so visibility was really hard for me because I just didn't like to create content. And I like to just do things like this. I guess podcast is content, but again, I need to stop digressing. I had a hard time trying to build visibility online and grow my social media following. And at the end of the day, visibility is your membership's oxygen. So they cannot be seen as separate from each other. Okay. So your social media presence, or wherever it is that you create content, wherever your audience is, you cannot see that as something separate from your business. It has to be together with your membership, because your membership is not going to thrive unless you have visibility, unless people are seeing you and hearing about your membership. The difference between people that I see, including everything on this list, but another really big one that a lot of times is the differentiator, is that people who don't take off, people who cannot get their membership up and off the ground, even if they implement, even if they have a really great membership, even if they have systems, if they have all of those other things that we have talked about so far on this list and they're still not growing, it comes down to visibility every single time. Every single time. If they have everything on this list that we have talked about up until now and they are still not growing, it always comes down to visibility. So it is so important that you have some sort of strategy to get visible online. Okay, so a posting cadence, how often you're posting. Are you being regular with posting, right? That hurts you too, which is so annoying, but it, it does. Is if you're posting every single day and then you take a week off and then you try posting again, your reach is going to bomb. Okay, and this is on most platforms. It's super annoying, but it's just the how it goes, I guess. So it is so important that you have that in your schedule and that you have a way to be consistent online, and that you have a way that it's actually working, right? If it's not working, if you are being consistent, but it's not working, maybe there's something with your strategy that needs to be tweaked. Again, if you come into Million Dollar Memberships Club, we have our 30-day visibility challenge. When you do this and you follow it to a T, this gets you 1,000 new members in 30 days. every time I ran it, I haven't ran it for a little while now, but when I was running it consistently, I was getting around 3,000 new followers every month that I ran it. Okay. It works, but you have to follow it. But the thing and the reason why we have this inside of Million Dollar Memberships Club, even though we're a membership that is strictly focused on memberships, we do have a challenge that is on social media visibility and gaining new followers because, again, at the end of the day, it is your membership's oxygen. You need it to grow your membership. So that is sitting for you as well. If you are going to be joining Million Dollar Memberships Club during our open enrollment window right now, that is sitting for you. It is ready for you to join literally the minute you join the club. It is in our challenges section. You can just hit join and you will get the intro video. You will get everything you need and you can get set up and start this challenge literally today. So that 30 days from now, you can have 100 or 1,000 new members on whatever platform that you are posting on. All right, guys, I really hope that this was a helpful episode for you. Again, this is just like an archive of everything that I know to be so true and like the actual points that I can pinpoint that when I look at memberships that really take off versus the ones that don't, these truly are those markers. Okay, so I really hope that you took notes on this, that you saved this episode that you can come back to. And ultimately, if you are trying to grow your membership and you're not in the place that you want to be, come join us inside of Million Dollar Memberships Club because like I said, this entire episode, we have every single thing that you need to go from brand new membership to multiple seven figure membership inside. We have membership founders who are at all different stages. So you will have connections in there as well. I will see you next week. Thank you so much for listening. I love you. I appreciate you. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.